My name is Dr. Peter Mokaya, but people call me Dr. Organic. And the reason why they call me Dr. Organic is because I advocate food that is grown organically, which basically means food that's grown without chemicals, without synthetic fertilizers. That's grown the way our ancestors, our grandfathers and our grandmothers used to grow food, largely using farmyard manure, using compost, and using other products that are natural and that are available within the reach of the local environment of the growers of food. Now, the reason therefore that I'm here is because potatoes are food. And potatoes are actually great food. They're very good food. If they're grown as they're meant to be grown, they are actually what one might call a superfood. In other words, you can actually live on potatoes alone if they are properly prepared and if you're organized. I don't advocate necessarily that people should eat potatoes alone, but as some of you may know, there's a gentleman who lived on potatoes alone for 365 days, and actually his health improved. It was documented in Australia. The name of this gentleman is Andrew Young. He actually lost 60 kilos. His health improved eating potatoes 365 days, which is equivalent to a year. So I'm happy to be here. I'm a member, other than being a promoter of organic foods, I'm also the CEO or the managing director of Organic Consumers Alliance, which is a national platform where we advocate for consuming foods that are healthy, that are nutritious, that are free from chemicals. I also sit, as part of my introduction, I also am a board member of the Agriculture Industry Network, which of course covers all the sectors of agriculture, which include National Potato Council, and obviously the potato industry. So my being here really is part of promoting the Big Four agenda, specifically the link between food security and universal health coverage, which is a domain of nutrition and health. Yes, actually I'm a panelist in the afternoon, the session of market access, consumer awareness and increasing demand for potato. I am here as a guest of the National Potato Council to participate in this, I think a very important day, because farmers together have come together to try and find out how they can make potatoes more available, more cost effective in terms of how they are grown, and to ensure that farmers, small-scale farmers, who represent more than 80% of those who grow potatoes, are treated fairly and are able to feed nutritionally and also able to make a fair, decent income from selling potatoes. So I think this is a very auspicious occasion to be here, to listen to issues of policy, issues of how we can make sure that the potato value chain is streamlined, is strengthened, is broadcasted, and that all the stakeholders, especially the farmers, the small-scale farmers who are mostly women, get their due rights as far as the produce of what is potato is.
Okay, maybe finally you can back up the PS concerning the brokers or the middlemen.
Yes, in my view, one of the organic philosophies is fairness. I don't have a problem actually with brokers. The problem I have with this, a broker, the correct term of a broker is a middleman or a middlewoman. Somebody who links the farmer with the market. In every industry, I believe there are brokers or middlemen, and they have a role to play. The only challenge I have with brokeraging is to ensure that brokeraging is fair, is transparent, and ensures that the farmer gets value for money. The broker, who's like an agent or a middleman or middlewoman, also gets their share, and that the marketer, the consumer, also gets value for money. So really, I wouldn't condemn grossly that we get rid of brokers. Actually, in my view, it's probably an exercise in futility to try and get rid of agents, because in any other industry, whether it's milk, the organic industry, or in real estate, or there are always agents. That's why even within the insurance industry and any other industry, there are people who come in between the farmers and the consumers or the market. So my issue would be that let the brokers play by the rules, the middlemen, and ensure that there is a transparent, open, and fair distribution, especially of the profits that emanate from the potato value industry. And I can't finish speaking without saying that while potato is good, there are some challenges that result from how potato is cooked. The good of potato is if you boil it or you bake it. Then you get the best value from a potato as a consumer. The bad of potato is when you fry the potato. When you deep fry potatoes in certain oils, they convert into what we call trans fats. If you eat the trans fats, they have been associated directly with causing heart diseases and other conditions that affect your blood circulation that may result in hypertension, high blood pressure, and other metabolic conditions. One other thing that happens when you deep fry potatoes is that they develop a chemical which is toxic that actually has been associated with cancer, known as acrylamide. I'll discuss this more in the afternoon during the session, but I would therefore say that that's the ugliest part of potato. That when you deep fry it, it produces a chemical known as acrylamide, which has been classified by WHO as a type 2A carcinogen. In other words, when you cook potatoes by deep frying them, you could be contributing to the epidemic of the cancers that we are seeing around in this country. This is a scientific fact, it's irrefutable, and therefore I would, by conclusion, say potato is a great food. The challenge with it is how it's cooked. As much as possible, minimize, or if possible, avoid deep frying the potato, what you call chips. And if you have to deep fry, which I'm sure is difficult for people to avoid, then do not use those dangerous oils that contain trans fats. I don't think I have time within this context to explain what the trans fats are, but generally speaking, these are oils that have been associated with the creation of those trans fats. I don't wish at this point in time to go into the details of which oils these are, because this is obviously a very sensitive issue. But in a simple language, use oils that are saturated as opposed to unsaturated. I suspect that this is something we can discuss in a different forum when you invite me to come and share in more.